what's up? So I'm Butterfly to Lie, and I'm back, and I'm doing this video on vibrations, and just a quick summary of what I mean by vibrations. And like I don't know, it just depends on I don't know what some of you guys are used to or familiar with hearing when it comes to energy, because I feel like vibrations is nothing more than energy. Energy is matter. Energy is everything around us, like the matter and the stuff that's not that we don't physically see all around us at any given time, right? That's what energy is. And our energy is always communicating stuff to other people at any given time. It's just the difference is, I feel like you got the people that's aware of themselves, like they study themselves or they're in tune with themselves, and they're going to be able to differentiate like what is their energy and what they're giving off, and what is someone else's energy and what they're giving off. And many times, guys, I have seen this many of times to where you could tell a person something. Like you could literally tell somebody, hey, yeah, you could talk to them like, yeah, I know what you were doing, or answer them back in some sort of way, or respond to them or interact with them in a way to where it's like it's like the person is like, okay, well, I didn't say that to you. Like, you're assuming that you know how I feel, or you're assuming that you know what I was gonna do, and you're thinking, or you're coming from a place where you're like, no, I really knew what you were gonna do. You didn't you did, but you didn't know. You picked up on the person's energy. Like, it's like I knew how you felt. I knew what you were gonna say. You picked up on that person's energy, right? And that's how you knew. But there's a lot of people that won't understand that because they're simply not aware of how energy works. They can come to you and they can think that they're hiding, but in reality they're not. You could have paid attention and focused in on something, like the way their eyes moved, their body language, whatever. The energy spoke to you before they even said anything. And like I said, there's people that's not aware. There's people that's aware, and there's people that's unaware. Now, how do I tie that into like stuff like vibrations? Okay, because like I've heard like the saying that people say when they're like, okay, I'm vibing high, or this person is vibing low. So let me tell you guys how I look at it, because like I said, I feel like it's all energy, but a vibration is just like an energy pattern. It's just, okay, so think about a television, or think about even like on your laptop or your phone, how there's like a volume button, and it's like, well, whenever you want to hear something, like even hear me speaking, and you're like, okay, I don't want to hear your big mouth that loud, let me turn you down. You just go to the volume and you just adjust it, right? And then you could be like, okay, well, she got a big mouth, but you know what? I kind of want to hear what she has to say. You can readjust the volume and turn it up higher. It's just like using like a massager or something. You're massaging your back, and it's like, hey, you have to where you can pick different levels of that, the force of how you're going to feel that massage, or how that the device is going to impact you, like how the massage is going to be. Like, is it going to be one that's like deep, intense, or is it going to be like a little bit more, light, and just skimming the surface? So vibrations to me is just that, and it's just the way we adjust our energy. So with that being said, how are you vibing low? How do you know when you're vibing low, or you're on a higher vibration versus a lower vibration? And like I said all of that, y'all, because I'm trying to really give people, there's people that don't understand. Like, there's people that come across my channel and they don't understand something until I say it into some weird, wacky, crazy way that hits them like, oh, okay. So I go all around. So for all of you experienced people, and you can move around a little bit if you don't want to hear what I have to say. Okay? But if you do, So what I'm trying to say is that when you're vibing high, you adjust your frequency, you adjust your valve, your energy to a level. You're consciously doing this. And some people may not be. I'm not going to say you can't vibe high or you can't vibe low, but a lot of it to me boils down to, okay, well then how do you even know how you're feeling or what you're doing from one day to the next? If you're not, someone else is in control of that. When you're on your own thing, you're doing your thing to where you vibing and you can, adjust and readjust what vibration you're on is more better. It works better when you're conscious of what that looks like and what that is. And I'm saying that to say vibration higher, a high vibration is when you're in this place to where you're like, okay, I see things going on around me and I see that there's some things I like, some things I don't like. There's some people that I'm just like, that person usually gets on my nerves, but I'm going to choose, okay, to be above that. It's like, it just kind of seems like you're in this place to where it can't touch you. It doesn't affect you the same. So let me give you an example. Let's say you're getting paid. It's payday. You got some usual-ish that would take you under, that would, you will be reacting to, you will find yourself upset about. But because you're getting paid, you're choosing to be like, that ain't nothing. Because guess what? Around about 9 o'clock tonight, when I'm going to the restaurant that I like and I'm drinking that drink that I like, nothing that has happened is going to be able to touch me. Okay? That's one way that you're vibing high. But let's say you're consciously choosing to vibe high. You can literally put yourself above what other people's got going on or the situation around you in general. And yeah, I will say that it has everything to do with you like tuning or retuning your feelings and your thoughts. That all goes there when you consciously do it. And this is the thing, it's not about denying what you feel. It's about being okay with what you feel. Like, I see too many times, like, people, they'll act like something never even happened. Like, they will have hurt feelings, they'll be hurt. Listen, guys, when y'all truly start dealing with yourself and you truly start to know yourself, there's going to be many times where you just be like, dang, my feelings was hurt. My feelings was hurt. I was upset. I was angry. You're not going to sit there and deny it. Because what's going to happen is as you tell yourself these things, you acknowledge these things, you start to notice some things happen. You start to notice where you be like, dang, I don't even feel like, who is this person? You start to know yourself well enough to where you're like, okay, I see what you're doing. Or I see, okay, who is it? These people, this situation is not really that important. And even if it is important, you start to find alternative ways to look at it. Your whole perspective changes. Now when you get angry and you get mad, you're like, I'm about to allow myself to get angry. You know what I'm saying? Because you could quickly come out of it and take yourself back to that place that you're in control over yourself. That's what it is to consciously vibe high. So vibing high doesn't mean that you're void of your feelings and your thoughts. It's more about you having control over your own feelings and your thoughts, right? Like anybody that's battling insecurity. And I'm going to give you an example, a really good example too, that I tell my daughter I tell my daughter all the time, because like with her little activities that she's participating in, I'm just like, listen, or even something as simple as the first day of school. And she's like overwhelmed, anxiety, all of that. I'm like, let me tell you what can help you. All right. Always think this when you go around, if you're in a new environment or it's a situation you feel like it's unfamiliar to you or it's overwhelming you. You have to look around and be like, man, there are other people, probably most people, that's feeling the same way I'm feeling right now. this other person next to me may be feeling the same way that I'm feeling right now. Okay? Because a lot of times we tend to feel like we're the only ones feeling a certain way, or we're the only ones thinking a certain way, until and what it does is it builds our ego in defense. It's like a response, an automatic response to that and what we feel like we're defending ourselves from. And what it does is it blocks us off even more from that and what we want. It blocks us off even more, and then it starts taking you downward to like a lower vibration. Because a lower vibration is when every little thing like moves you when it decides to move. Like you, it's kind of like, like Ludacris, when I move, you move. Just like that, when I move. You don't want to be movable like that unless you consciously are doing it. You want to be in a place where you like, okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm up here, I'm sitting here, I'm chilling. I don't want to move. Okay? And if I have to move, I'm consciously moving because I got to get up and move. You're when you're in a low vibration, like you're allowing things and situations around you to dictate how you're going to feel and what you're going to think. And then you get frustrated in your response, in which is your response. You're tuning yourself and you're adjusting yourself to that and which is going on around you, every little thing. And so now you're irritated, and now you're trying to get people back, and now you're like, okay, well, you poked me, I'm about to poke you, and now you're sad, and now you're upset, and you're not even sad because you're purposely acknowledging the fact that you're sad. And you're putting on display to take accountability for it and to own it. No, you become a victim of this circumstance that just happened. And what it does is it takes the control away from you. And now you're feeling insecure, or now you're feeling embarrassed. Now you're feeling like you can't really move how you want and you can't really get what you want. So now you're frustrated. And now you start to look at every little thing that could go wrong. And why, if it goes wrong, it's going to be bad for you. And it's the end of the world. And now you're attracting in that to happen, or you're cutting yourself off. It's like you're cutting yourself off from the possibilities that can happen. You're cutting yourself off from completely experiencing the feeling, or the real feeling, or the true thought that springs from the fact that it's coming from yourself. Really, it seems like it's coming from another person, but the more, and I don't know if you're somebody that has been through this and you get what I'm saying. If you work on yourself a lot, you can comment and say your piece. But, and that don't feel like I'm saying that that people don't do things to us and we don't have bad days or anything like that. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that it's, the difference is, or when you're dealing with vibrations, you're dealing with energy, but when you're dealing with it from a low versus a high vibration, high versus a low vibration, you're now talking about tuning yourself in and readjusting yourself to the circumstances that's around you, or basically readjusting yourself consciously. Because either you're going to be readjusting yourself to the circumstances that's around you unconsciously, or you're going to be doing it consciously. It's different when you do it consciously. Consciously, you're the magician. People get so scared of the word magician. Like, I'll do a separate video on that, because there's different aspects of what a magician is. Like, when I refer to magician, I'm not referring to like magic tricks. There's people in sigils and stuff like that. There's people that do that, but not for me. Everything I control within myself, but I don't come from a place, an outer place of controlling what's outside of me. I do that within. I can give you a tip. I know myself very well. Listen, okay. I know myself. I have a relationship with myself very well. Listen, you can't, even though I deal with people from a place of where really I deal with each individual as such. People think that I got them all figured out all the time. No, 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 no. I don't bother trying to figure out somebody else. I just know who I am, and I know myself very well. And I know when something is not aligning up with me. And I know when I need to be open to what like when something, life is trying to teach me something. Okay? But what I do is, because I know myself so well, when I'm interacting with somebody, I don't really look at it as like a rejection, or like I'm ugly, or like I'm stupid, I'm incapable, because someone else dismisses me. Well, I will listen. I tell you one thing though, because one thing we can't ignore, I will get a person in their place. That's just part of my personality. If I feel like you trying me, I will. But if I don't feel like I have to deal with you on any level whatsoever, I'm not going to even react to you at all, because I feel like it's a waste of time and a waste of energy. But I'm consciously doing it. So whenever I'm choosing to do something, I'm consciously doing it, and then I'm able, after I do it, I'm able to just readjust myself. It's kind of like, okay, well, you know what? I'm not going to feel lack or less than, because we don't vibe, like I'm not vibing with you, or the situation is off. Maybe I look at different ways to handle it. Like I might be like, it's the timing. It might just be the timing of it all. It just might be the fact that like we not vibing the same, it just might be the fact that, you won't, my vibrations is high and you not matching that. So what? You know what I'm saying? Like high vibration shows you ways that you're not trapped. You do not, and yes, sometimes you do feel like you're not on the same timeline or series of events that's playing out. Now you can be with other people. Now you can physically be there with them, but you just kind of feel like, dang, like I'm right here beside this person, but I don't know this person. Like I'm not like, where am I at? Because we in the same place. And now I'll get on that video later when I talk about timelines. And I did a video in the past speaking about that. But literally, vibing high will get you in this place. You kind of just bypass your feelings and your thoughts. And you don't, not at some point though, I want you to understand, every level of vibrations you exceed, it's not just one level. You don't got one level to your volume up, and you don't got one level to your volume down. There's multiple levels, and every time you exceed one, whatever that impacted you, that was taking you low, it doesn't impact you the same. You start being like, dang, like, woo, you notice it off top, like, okay, I'm feeling this way. The last time I was feeling this way, I was feeling this way because I felt I wasn't good enough, or I felt the world ain't treating me the same or being fair to me like everybody else. Whatever it was that you were feeling, instead of just being stuck there are people that stuck in certain feelings and thought processes for their whole entire life. Like, instead of being stuck there, you can easily remove yourself out of. And it depends on how big of an attachment, or how strong of an attachment, or how big the trauma is. Because some traumas that come back up, you be like, oh, God, I felt that in my gut. But pull that sword out, about to pull that dagger out, and like I'm about to keep it moving. And then you all of a sudden think of like the way you've accomplished, like, dang, you know what? I realize I'm not at that level anymore. Next. And it takes your vibration up, up, up. I feel like where people, I don't even like to use the word spiritual no more, because I just kind of feel like it's cliche. You jam packing everything into this one thing, but still, this umbrella of many things. But still, what I'm saying is that it's not, I think that people think it's like this one shoe size fits all. And that's not how it is. It's never that way. It's like we're always constantly dealing with something, But you start to become empowered when you start to overcome those, those barriers that you were once feeling like you were stuck at, or you didn't see how you were going to overcome it. You didn't see how you were going to surpass it. And once you do, it lifts you. And then it takes you, lifting you. It's like a good old bra. You know what I'm saying? Because, hey, it lifts you. And now, you a whole different person. You like, but look, I'm looking different in this shirt versus that when I didn't have the support, when I didn't live, when I didn't have this lift. It's that's how you feel. You feel like you're lifted, and you start to feel like, man, I can overcome. Like I can live this, and I can overcome these circumstances that I'm facing, and that's when you're consciously vibing high. And the vibing low is when you're attuning and you're readjusting yourself to that maybe you've already overcome, but you're feeling weak. Okay? Or maybe you don't even know that you need to overcome. Like you have not been lifted yet. Some people have been lifted, but they don't want to maintain that. They don't want to, because they kind of want to be a victim, or because when it's like anything, like, and like, if y'all watch my channel, I constantly talk about the fact that people, they don't want to know stuff. They don't like knowing stuff, because the moment it kind of becomes your job or your duty to change it in a way, and this is no different, because like all of a sudden, when you start realizing that, when you start facing certain feelings, emotions, thought processes, behaviors, what ends up happening is you realize, like, okay, well, this is on me. Like, am I going to be stuck here with these feelings? Am I going to be stuck here with these thoughts? Am I going to be stuck here with this belief system? Or am I going to overcome it? And it's really dealing with facing stuff. It's facing issues. It's facing traumas. It's facing feelings. It's not avoiding them and pretending that they don't exist. But now you find yourself in the house, not because you're willingly relaxing, but because you're like crippled and paralyzed with circumstances that took place that you're not even acknowledging. Guys, that's bad on the body. That's bad on the mind. It's stressful. Okay? I can do more of these videos. Just whether if you're, what direction that you guys want me to take it in, to understand better. But vibing high is simply when you're in an energetic pattern that's allowing you to lift up to where you're around people, but you just like, dang, this person's talking about they problems, and you like, dang, like, I got problems too, but I'm not even worried about what my problems is. Like, I got bills to pay too, but some way the bills gonna get paid, baby. Like, they always like to say, okay, yeah, you choose to be in la la land, or you choose not to hold yourself accountable. No, I'm living proof. Like, I have been in literal situations, and yes, I'm gonna say this, to where it ain't no other way that these situations wouldn't have been worked out unless I had some type of force backing me. And you can say, well, was it the way you was thinking about yourself? Oh my God. Some of the biggest challenges I had in like reprogramming my thoughts, then it started reprogramming the way I felt about myself. And it don't matter what emotion I had. It don't matter what feeling I had. I just was like, man, I choose to look at this differently. I choose to handle it different. It was very empowering. And that means you can go from somebody that lets people run all over you to now you speaking your piece. Okay? It's trust me, it's unbelievable if if you try to wrap your mind from a simple fixated place around this whole thing. You know, it's more about letting go and being okay with being where you are and being willing to experience sides and aspects of life that you're uncomfortable with. Because trust me, that's even part of like my whole thing too. Like, that's what I embrace. Because a lot of times we get stuck in low vibrations and low vibrational patterns because we feel like we want what we want. But our soul blueprint, you know, that in that force that governs us is saying like, no, dear, no, that's not what you need this time around. For some people, they come in there, they can do the same thing over, and for others, you're having a different experience, that's another video as well. Okay, all right. So thank you for listening, guys. I'm Butterfly to Light. I just discuss low vibration, high vibration, how to consciously experience it and unconsciously experience it, and in hopes that it can help you through different aspects of your life and hiring yourself, and gaining that knowledge, that self-awareness that we all need. All right. So until next time, I'll be back. Thanks.